Hey, good morning, traders. How we doing? We have a solid day yesterday. How did it work out? I got stopped out at break even. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. I even had money. It's one of those days, huh? I uh, I was watching price earlier take off here, and then tried to get in somewhere. Because this was a little early. Tried to get in somewhere over here, and then got long right there. We'll get into it. But first, I just want to remind everybody what we're here for. Right? We're looking for a 3-to-1 trade. There's 5 steps. We have the impulse leg, right? Price takes off, creates a shelf, right? So buyers line up, and then there's a wash of that shelf. Price comes back down and cleans out those orders. All the stops that are there, everyone's, positions. And then it takes off again. It retests the high of the impulse leg, and then it comes back down for another high. It coils up, right? Like a snake getting ready to attack something. So there's 5 steps. Study them, practice them, look for 100, look for 1,000. You'll see them everywhere. Once you start to see them, then you got a problem, because then you're like, well, every one of them works. It doesn't work that way. But it puts you in the right side of the risk. I'm about a 30 to 40% win rate trader, but my profits are solid because I trade 3-to-1. Yesterday was kind of frustrating because I've taken a couple lumps the last couple days. This whole thing messed me up.
Connection.
And then I had money. I was almost there. I was trying to get up here a little bit more. I saw, I marked this thing out and said, okay, let's, here's the kill zone or the pressure cooker for this swing. Let's test that high, test that high, and then, it took me out. Now I could have got 3-to-1. We'll talk about it. But it's just one of those things that we deal with as traders. There's, you have to know what gets you in, what gets you out. You have to protect your profit, right? I'm not getting rich tomorrow. I'm not going poor tomorrow. I'm going to be able to trade tomorrow. I'm going to be able to trade today. For me, it's all about trading. It's almost even more than just making money, being competent, being able to have a skill that I can walk into anywhere and find something that's interesting, find a way to get in because I understand the steps of my system. But I've traded long enough to understand myself, and I've been through the whipsaw. I've had enough shipwrecks that I'm pretty solid in what it is I'm trying to do. I'm making money on a regular basis. I'm not having super highs and super lows. And so this system that I was taught happens over and over and over again in all different time frames. Now I do the 750 tick on the ES Mini, and there's a lot of them. I was bummed because I had money and I was back on, whatever, all that stuff. But it was like, I know there's going to be trades today. So let's sit back and see what we can find. I just wanted to run down a couple of things before we get started. We've got, check our news. We got some stuff coming out 5:30 in a few minutes, but it's Canada, PPI, unemployment claims. So something's going to happen here in a few minutes. Well, maybe we'll catch it. And then what's going on tomorrow, Friday. And it's the holidays too, guys. So people are probably going to be, the volume's going to come down because people are going to be leaving. We're leaving. I'm going to be gone for a week. There's not as much activity. Oh, and the other thing I want to show you guys, if, I tease you guys over here, right? I'll throw out some fresh daily updates on the post side of my YouTube channel. Things that I'm thinking about, impulse leg, there's your wash, new high, I bought that, right? Bought it. Price took off. I'm not sure what happened after that. But there's, all kinds of stuff that I post over here that, so I've got other things that are out here that are, and I'll throw a video up, from time to time about some things that I've been working on and just try and, get you guys, stay on top of the action. I'm not a trading service and I'm not trading live. I want you guys to stand on your own 2 feet. That's my whole goal, is to be able to walk out of here and say, okay, I understand what I'm looking for and how I'm going to go get it. And there's a gazillion ways to trade. So out of all the different things I've tried to do, I've boiled it down to one setup that I can do over and over and over again. I can teach it. I can see the impulse right there. Right? I can see, from this far away, I can tell you right now that that's your entry and that is your stop. It's just, all I have to do is see the impulse, right? And it shows up. And then you can sit there and say, oh, wow, that sure is easy. But now you have to do it in the right spot. The other day I got smoked. I was buying, I was over here buying something, trying to get, I still had my setup, or I was buying the bottoms. One of the things I've got a problem with is that I buy these lows, these things, because they bounce, right? I got to bounce off of that, and it's like, let's try and get up there. I'm trying to buy, I would love to buy that thing so I could get that chunk. And then ultimately at the end of the day, it's like, well, geez, Mike, let's just, follow the impulse, do what you're supposed to do. And that's why we have to practice this over and over and over again. The people that are real traders, man, they're in this stuff. They're in the weeds. We're here trying to hone our craft. Can I get that 30 to 40% to 40 to 50%? I know guys that are trading, they're 90% traders, but they're scalpers, and they have a whole system they've developed by themselves because they've taken all these courses, they've listened to all these people, they've done all these things. I know I'm rambling, but I want you guys to understand that you're in the right spot. You don't need to go look around. You don't need to go find anything else. And with the fresh daily updates, we're trying to put out as much stuff as we can without being a service to, I don't want the weight of the world, always use a stop and size down. If you're new, if you're experienced, you know what you're talking about, your game. So yesterday, isn't that crazy? Just there. Yeah. Like, okay, that's where you want to buy, right? What if you had somebody tell you that, hey, here's where you want to buy, and you don't know what you're doing. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, right? Why does that work? Why am I buying that and letting that go down? Well, because you have a shelf. We'll get into it. I think I tried to catch one of these too. I don't know. Oh, I know what I was doing. These lines are good, right? We're going to reuse these lines. We don't have to make new lines. So one of the things that I was looking at was fix that one and go like that. I was here. I was coming up. So this is an impulse leg, right? And to me, an impulse leg it has certain characteristics. Like this one it's the last impulse. Like this is a failed impulse, and then it does. And all it's doing is coiling up and getting more energy. These sellers, and this is in my mind, this isn't the world and how it works, people, all right? Let's just be, we're ants. This guy here sold, and then he's going to buy it up. And then, price discounts the future, right? The future is up here. So we want to discount down here. And that took me a long time to understand, but it kind of makes sense, right? Price goes up, it comes down, it makes a wash. Here's your wash, right? Remember I told you step 3? And I have this one all set up here. Boom, 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 boom. In the old days, I could hit a button. Yeah, look at that. I could hit a button. And it could do it again. I actually made this my wash because, and I'll get into it in a second. But anyhow, price comes up, There's a shelf. There's a couple of spots there. Why is this? Look at this thing. Hard down, jibber jabber, hard up, hard up, hard up. Those bars are bigger, and then it cleans all these orders out. All of them. Right? Gives us this nice little box right here. Price takes off. Right? This is a little low. I like to see a kind of a, like right in there. I usually make this lime green. Oh, where's my lime green? Didn't fill it up. Oh, I know what I did. Right? So there's your retest. Right? Impulse leg. Shelf. Right? And it's a small shelf. And it tries though, right? And then they drop them down. They drop them down. Try again. Drop them down. Pop. Boom. Right? I'm right here. Because now I know I've got a couple things that I can lean into. I know that price is trying to go up. Price has made this wash, so everyone who lost their money has to reposition for it to expand again. I'm in there. I catch a lot of heat. Stop not just right below this piece, but kind of down here a little bit. Give it a little room because you don't know if there's one greedy little bar that's going to come pick your order up. And then price takes off. Now, we're here for 3-to-1 trades. And that is a classic 3-to-1 trade that was available for everybody who was paying attention. You're in at 8 o'clock. You're out somewhere in here. 8:43. 40 minutes of work. Right? It's crazy. So then this is the trade I got into. I had drawn up the pressure cooker from the high over here, right? Waiting for price to, take this V and keep going high. Oh, look at that. Guys, look at that news on the payroll. On the non-farm payroll. Look at that. Big bar up, big bar down. Look at that thing. Right? Now it's going to continue its path. An object in motion often stays in motion. So, one of the things I deal with, and we all deal with, is like where to get in and where to get out. And so, when this thing came down here, I was in here. And I didn't use this wash as my, or I guess I did use that wash, but I still, for some reason, I was just like, I used the stop like down in here. And I was just like, I've had the last 6 trades go south or break even south, not making money. But I'm not, it's only 6 stops. It's not like it's, come on. And so I was just like, oh, geez, Mike, again, so close. And you see this thing happen and you're like, gosh darn it, why didn't, just do give me one of those, buddy. That's all I want. That's all I want. I'm not getting greedy. I just, give me another piece. And the hard part is, you're going up. Starts to go up. You survive that, and then it hit there, and I was just like, oh, man. And then it kind of did this thing here. It took off, and I just moved my stop right there. I said, boom. It took me out. And that's the breaks, man. It didn't work out. And I can only live within the world that I've created for myself. You know, if I want to scalp every one of these, then my business model changes and my whole thing changes. And I'm not saying you can't do that, but you have to figure out how you can scalp something and be safe. There's ways to do it. So anyhow, that was really the trade of the day right there. Nice, beautiful 3-to-1, classic setup, impulse leg, shelf, wash, with a nice retest and then an extension there. Going back to my first model. Let me bend this here. Hold on a second. Boop. Get rid of that. And move that over there. Now, I didn't trade this. I just saw this morning, getting in here. Just, saw this here. But when you understand them, they just show up like that, right? Right? Impulse leg, shelf. Does this really qualify as an impulse? I mean, in hindsight, it's easy, right? Everyone can trade in hindsight. We can all win the lottery the day after the lottery. Come on. What's going to happen today? I don't know. Oh, I do know. Hold on. I was looking at this. So, right, here's the price is going up. It's just, we're just following price here, guys. Just follow the impulse leg. Right? Remember I was talking the other day about this thing? Yeah, just put your orders behind here. Yeah, I'm not right all the time, guys. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's where you do it. That's where you look. After this here, boom, why not? Right? Why wouldn't you? It happens all the time. Why wouldn't you not now? Right? And we could do the same thing here. Right? Where's the shelf? Right? Buyer. It's actually qualifies now. Because it's done it. It's done its thing. I'm not saying I'm ready to play this game, but step 1, impulse. Step 2, shelf. Step 3, wash. Step 4, test. Step 5, buy. That's where you put your orders. That's where the best risk is on the table, right? Now, am I going to do it? No. I don't trade the hourly. I just use it as a guide. Right? Just use it as a guide. Prices come down into here off of this impulse. So I'm just going to wait for my setup. It's not a really strong looking top. And I don't use tops as judgment, What I do know is that a swing high confirms a swing low, and a swing low confirms a swing high. So use that as a guide, right? You've got this here, this here. This high confirms this low, right? This high, I'm not going to do it. Forget it. This low is confirmed by this high. So that means that this price is going in this direction. Ultimately is what that is, how I boil that down. I'm watching. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of getting beat up this week. I was hoping I'd be, break even by now and have a couple days to, earn some profit. But, that's the way it goes. Manage your money, manage your trades, manage yourself. Look for the setup, right? That's a wash, guys. That's the biggest wash on the board. That's all that is, right? Prices come down. Let's pick that spot. Just pick a spot, Oh, look, this line's good. Is there a shelf in here somewhere? And remember, on the downside, guys, I kind of like to be in, you don't get the cleanest shelf like you had before. That one's not bad, though, right? Sellers, right at the top there. Orders there for lows. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I'll draw that up and I'll just sit on that for a while, see how it plays out. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I'm not jumping into anything really fast. I'm being really careful here because I want to tighten up my week, and I don't want to. I hate to say the word nonsense, but it comes into play. Just, it's easy to get confused and it's easy to get twisted up, and so even with the best laid plans, God, do you guys see that? I see it. I'm not even trying, dude. Not even trying, guys. It's just, there's the stop. There's the wash. Right? There's your shelf. There's your entry. Guys, it works. You got paid right there on that whole thing. It's just hiding behind that. It's amazing to me. And it's beautiful because we can go into the market with a really clear map and figure out how we're going to make some money or make some trades. And making money is another, keeping money, making money, losing money. It's all in the same kind of basket, right? We're not always making money. We're in between, So anyhow, talk later. Use a stop.